Ready or not, here I come now. Let's play hide and seek. Prepare to be caught. Here I come now. Let's play hide and seek. Hiding on the playground. No mountains to make a sound. Round and round and round and round. No one wants to be first found.
Good evening, you guys. Happy Halloween. Thank you, Cara, for this link. It's a very interesting link, so I'm going to read it to you guys. Fremont County Sheriff's phones from landfill now in the hands of drug cartel. Several former Fremont County Sheriff's Office cell phones have allegedly ended up in the hands of a drug cartel here in Idaho. And the phones can track every deputy in Fremont County's location in real time, in addition to other emergency response personnel, if a unique app on the phone is still active. Now that is scary AF. According to a source Idaho Dispatch spoke with, on condition of anonymity, the phones also contain all the law enforcement personnel's contact information, pictures from investigations, text messages, phone logs, schedules, and other sensitive information. Mother of God, you've got to be kidding me. Who was so negligent in getting, oh my God. Hold on, I gotta take my keys off around my neck. Because if I don't bring my keys every time I leave the car, the cat likes to lock me out. So I gotta make sure I bring my keys every time. Yes. Okay, and by the way, it's raining, so you're gonna hear the rain on the roof of the car. Idaho Dispatch asked the source for specific information on how they knew several of the phones ended up in the hands of drug cartel. The source provided very specific information to Idaho Dispatch about an individual within the cartel who had the phones and the name of the cartel to which they allegedly belonged. Still, the source asked the information not to be disclosed for fear that revealing the source may pose a risk to the source and their family. Wait a minute. A risk to the cartel source and the family? Idaho, okay. Did that make sense to you guys? The source provided very specific information to Idaho Dispatch about an individual within the cartel who had the phones and the name of the cartel to which they allegedly belonged. Oh, still the source, okay, asked the information not to be disclosed. Okay, gotcha. Did you guys get that? In addition to the phones allegedly in the hands of a drug cartel, the source Idaho Dispatch spoke and met with also has a phone formerly belonging to a Fremont County Sheriff's deputy. The source purchased the phone from another individual while visiting their house. What in the world? Our source said they recognized it as a former Fremont County Sheriff's phone because the source had seen another phone exactly like it previously, but the phone was destroyed. The phones were believed to have been disposed of at the St. Anthony landfill in 2022. While the source knew of 4 phones taken from the landfill, they believed there may have been as many as 20. Okay, I remember a story after I read this about that. Remind me, okay? No. I'm going to have to write that down because I know I'll probably forget. So I'm writing it down right now. Okay. Tell them about, let's see, city phones. I'm going to just put Habitat, because it's not Habitat, but it'll be close enough. Okay. So, they told us they recovered 4 of the phones from the landfill. So the phones were believed to have been disposed of at the St. Anthony landfill in 2022. While the source knew of 4 phones taken from the landfill, they believe there may have been as many as 20. Idaho Dispatch also spoke with another source who wished to remain anonymous, who told us they recovered 4 of the phones from the landfill's electronic salvage bin. Idaho Dispatch sent a public records request to the Fremont County Sheriff's Office asking for a list of all phones disposed of in 2022, if any, the location where they were disposed of, and the process the sheriff's office used at the time of disposing of cell phones, so another individual could not gain access to the data on the phone. Wow, this is this is absolutely nuts. That something like this, if they didn't do this right, I mean, that is significant problems, man. Wow. I mean, that should be triple checked. Something like that literally should be triple checked. Done. Someone should check and make sure that knows what they're doing, and the next one, same thing. The phone our source appears to have belonged to current Fremont County Sheriff's Deputy Coulter Cannon. Cannon also worked as a school resource officer, and the phone Idaho Dispatch observed has pictures of videos of interviews Cannon did at the school in Fremont County. Oh my God. So of the kids, Idaho Dispatch sat down with our source and recorded the phone being powered on, and the source gaining access to the information on the phone. The phone had password protection. However, according to our source, it was not challenging to figure out. Idaho Dispatch confirmed the phone's authenticity through its data, images, videos, and specific apps, which are only accessible to law enforcement officials. You know what this makes me feel like, you guys? Now, I don't know when this came out, but this feels like one of those wrenches they throw in there, right? To get you to turn one direction and this and that, or take the blame off of them. Why the cops didn't know something was going down at the house? Because they had their phones, they could tell what they were doing. That's what this makes me feel like. I mean, everything just fallen into place, right? The source told Idaho Dispatch that they had not shared the data and information with anyone other than the Idaho Dispatch, and allegedly with one other media outlet in Idaho, which declined to run the story. Well, you never can trust those media outlets anyway, can you? You can watch a video Idaho Dispatch recorded of the source going through the deputies' phones. Please note that the audio of the recording has been removed to protect the identity of several individuals, including our source, who were present at the time. All audio heard is my voice explaining what you see in the video through voiceover. The story continues below. One app on the phone called Active 911 shows the active positions of every Fremont County Sheriff's deputy. It also has the locations of Madison County Sheriff's deputies and other emergency response personnel locations. God damn. Mother of God. Emergency response personnel's locations in both counties, including who is on or off duty. According to the Active 911 website, the features of the app include the following: real-time call dispatch, nature of call address in units, dispatched call notes, personnel responding, mapping and directions with hydrants and other data, turnout timer, custom alarm tones, listen to examples, ETA and distance, Google Street View and other mapping features, ESRI layers, Mapbox and other mapping platform layers. Idaho Dispatch contacted Fremont County Sheriff Glenn Humphreys to ask if and when they were made aware that the phones had not been destroyed, and what measures they took to ensure that the Active 911 app could not be used by individuals who may have the phones still in their possession. Humphreys did not return Idaho Dispatch request for comment. Another law enforcement not returning calls to another law enforcement? That seems a little weird. Idaho Dispatch also contacted the St. Anthony landfill to ask about its policy regarding salvaging items and when it went into effect. No one from the landfill has returned our request for comment. Finally, Idaho Dispatch sent a public records request to the sheriff's office asking for a list of all phones disposed of during 2022, when they were disposed of, and what the sheriff's office policy is for the cell phone disposal. Idaho Dispatch received a letter from Fremont County Prosecutor Lindsay Blake denying our entire request. Idaho Dispatch called the prosecutor's office to find out why the sheriff's office's written policy, why the sheriff's office's written policy for disposing of electronics was denied. The prosecutor's office has not returned our call for clarification. Idaho Dispatch asked our source why they had not returned the phone. Idaho Dispatch asked our source why they had not returned the phone to the Fremont County Sheriff's Office or destroyed it themselves. Our source told us that they wanted to ensure that light was shined on the Sheriff's Office's failure to erase that data. If the FBI and other government agency investigated, if the FBI or other government agencies investigated the Fremont County Sheriff's Office failure not to destroy the phone, the source said they wanted to preserve the evidence. Holy God. Well, it looks like she has not put the link in here for this. So this was so yeah, like you should be able to click on where it says listen, listen to an example. So that information is not here. I'm going to try to find it. I don't know if this is going to show me where this came from. I will just Google this right here and I'll see if I can find the links to it. So give me a moment and I shall do that. Okay, that didn't take long. Okay, let's see if we can find it. I'll go ahead and actually just put the link in here so you guys can look on, get it if you want. See if we got it in here. I'm gonna scroll. Watch your eyeballs. Come on, where are you? Oh, the story continues below. Okay, was this another one up here? Okay, close your eyes. I'll tell you when I'm done scrolling. Close your eyes. Keep them closed. You peeked. I saw you. Okay, let's just play this right here.
Hi, Greg Pruitt here with Idaho Dispatch, and this video has to do with an exclusive story we are bringing to you about cell phones that used to belong to the Fremont County Sheriff's Office that ended up in a public landfill and eventually...
Oh my God.
Our source who reached out to us and told us that they had one of these cell phones met with us out in a public location.
This is what my phone's been doing.
Turned the phone on and then explained kind of what was on the phone. And so the video you're going to be seeing right after this is video from that meeting. Okay, so there's going to be some really short clips in addition to some still shots so that I can further explain what you are seeing. Now, we have cut the audio from the original video in order to protect the identity of our source who was at this meeting in addition to other witnesses who were at the meeting. And we felt that it was safer that I just give you my voiceover of what I was looking at and what I was observing at that time in regard to this cell phone. So with that, here we go.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to see is the Active 911 app turn on, and then kind of a still shot of the Madison County Sheriff's Office as well as the Fremont County Emergency Services. And it looks as though the deputy had the ability to see both, because Fremont and Madison counties were next to each other. And this appears to be some sort of maybe thing from dispatch that talks about the current active things that are occurring. And I've never used Active 911. I assume only law enforcement have, that would be able to maybe further explain this particular screen and what's there. And then you have a map of where everyone is currently that's out on a call, I assume. And you can see a blue badge there, which I assume is deputies or maybe city police officers within the county, and then emergency personnel. And this would all be active in real time. Now, we're not quite sure if it's still active because of the next screen here, where you can see the messages, and the messages seem to stop after August 12th, 2024.
2 years later.
Allegation is that there may be an active investigation currently, and perhaps they were able to finally put a stop to the active 911 account and then perhaps redo it. We don't know for sure, but it does look like messages stop after this time, or perhaps it's a part of the app that no one uses very much. But it does have the ability to have kind of these group messages, and then you can see the two entities there. So some other stuff on the phone is there was a lot of pictures and a lot of videos, but this particular phone belonged to a school resource officer. We have blurred out the face of the minor who was in this particular video.
Oh my God.
But there was a number of pictures and videos on the sheriff's phone, the sheriff's deputy's phone, that had images of minors, and nothing nefarious, but just information from the school, investigations from the school, interviews from the school that would have had this sensitive data on it that was not erased from the phone. And then you would also have, this would be the deputy's schedule. Looks like swing shift for some days, SRO for other days when he would be the school resource officer. And then finally, just as some more evidence that this was a legitimate phone and belonged to the Fremont County Sheriff Deputy, this is a direct text message. We have blurred out the message of the phone that it was going to, but just identifying it as Deputy Cannon and then a message there. So again, the purpose of this video is not to try and, again, we didn't see anything that was bad on the phone, but we wanted to just show that, hey, this really is a former cell phone that belonged to the current deputy, and that there are allegedly up to 20 of these phones in existence out in public hands that were allegedly, none of them were wiped clean, and this is just one of those phones.
You guys, if this did happen and those are in the hands of, the cartel or who, the dealers or whatever, that would explain the sound of the beeps. The notification sounds. That would explain that in the Linda Lane videos. Man, I'm telling you, with the kids and that makes me so sick with the kids. Because, if they're listening and they're trying to get people like their mules or whoever to do stuff, they could be listening to these kids and see which kids are having a hard time and maybe, starting to delve into that kind of thing. And then they could go just get a hold of these kids and just, entice them with money or whatever. How horrific is that? This is a fuck up, man. This isn't just a fuck up. This is the F up of all F ups, man. This is nuts. Now, if this is actually true, I'm like I said, in this case, it's hard to believe anything, and there's always going to be something thrown in there, like they have been doing. So this is so unbelievable. This is so unbelievable, right? So what I was going to tell you is that I dated a guy, and he worked for the state, and he worked for the surplus store, and which was great. Because all the stuff from the state, all the stuff out of the the offices, just anything that the state would use. And we're talking right down to microwaves, and not only that, but one of the coolest things I thought was they would all the stuff confiscated at the airport that were like Leathermans and anything that shears, hair cutting shears, things like that. Regular all different types of not sharp objects and things like that. But there was box cutters, all different kinds of box cutters. I got the coolest box cutters from there. I love those things. But there was just everything and anything and everything. I'm talking so much stuff and so much really cool, interesting stuff, vintage stuff. And anyway, that was all at this store. But there was also this big bin that they had at their office that was full of cell phones. And it was like whenever, someone would come in new, or when they would, when theirs would break or something, then they'd just go, pick out of this bin, whatever, a cell phone or whatever. And now that makes me just think of so many things, because I just remember them talking about, and this guy ended up being a real winner, not, but it just makes me think just what in the hell could have happened, or did happen, maybe not, maybe did, maybe still is, I don't know, with those phones like that. When I say bin, I mean like a 4x4 wood bin, like on rollers. And I'm not exaggerating about the size, and it's deep. It's probably about 3 feet deep, and it was full of phones, all kinds of phones, anything you can imagine. It was nuts. So I don't find this totally out of like how this could not happen, because I could see how this could happen. Totally see how this could happen. And just because someone works for the state doesn't mean they're not, doing something on the side. And so, like I've always said, people are like, oh, well, it's a gated community, it should be safe. I'm like, just because it's a gated community doesn't mean there's not bad people living inside the gated community. It's like, come on. So this right here sounds like it could be. I'm going to go ahead and check and see what else is on here. This is a good site to have, though. Thanks. There's all sorts of bunch of stuff you can go check out on here. Let's go to Idaho Dispatch. Oh, so this is a October 11th. Is this the same one? Well, you'll have the link so you can go and check this out. But man alive, this is nuts. Let's see what's on 2. Oh, there's all sorts of cruisy stuff on here. Idaho Dispatch launches the REST, a fact-checking project. Trackle? And what does that mean? Is that travel or oh, that's the name of a person? What a weird name. Huh. Well, it looks like there's a lot of interesting reads on here, that's for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and post this video, and you guys can check this out. I'm sure there's a lot of people going to be jumping on this one. In fact, I could name several of them off right now, but I won't. But that's I'm putting it on there just for this reason, so that you can get it out here, because that's my goal. My whole mission is to get justice for these kids, and for everybody involved that isn't guilty of anything, to get justice for them. This is the reason why I came on here. It's not anything else but. And so I would love to share this. So, if there's anything on here that's of, value to anybody, to, that helps in the case, my goodness, this is a perfect thing. So thanks again to Cara Willis, and, not Carrie, what am I saying? Cara. Why did I say that? Did I say that last time too? I can see it in my head as I'm talking. It says Cara. My head says Cara. Right over the, like the inside of my skull when I'm reading, my eyeballs see Cara. All right, so I'm gonna get this up and out, and love you guys. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you. Well, we'll see you soon.